Om Shanti, everyone. Good morning. Beautiful Murli. Hope you had a beautiful Amrit Vela. So one of the beauty of tapping into Baba's presence at Amrit Vela is you can feel the subtlety. You can feel the subtle presence of yourself and subtle presence of Baba. And the Murli that we are reading, which was originally spoken in see, one 1982, January 22nd, is the original Murli that was spoken, where Baba was talking about subtle things. In order to comprehend subtle concepts, needs our subtle presence. So where we are is what, how we see the world the way it is. So in other words, as my awareness of the self colors the way I see the world or way I see what Baba is telling to me. So it's a very auspicious time we are right now. So wherein you are in your most beautiful, most optimal awareness to understand this very subtle Murli, where Baba is talking about the subtlety. So Baba is talking about how to let go of the subtle traces of vices. So in which Baba is using the rhyming word vidai and vadai. So Baba is going through the Murli where Baba is asking us to Baba bring our attention to the subtle weaknesses which is there inside each one of us, the five vices, the different forms of Maya. So one of the things Baba was, if you, especially we touch some of the concepts of, oh, got the volume increased. Let me see. We can. Is it better? I hope volume is okay. So some of the things that Baba is asking us, and especially we touch a little bit about the psychology, what modern psychology talks and how, because one of the things that modern psychology does not have access is access to the spiritual dimension. And one of the things psychology talks about is take care of your needs. And in the name of taking care of your needs, um, it becomes hard for us to find where is the fine line between where does your need stops and where does the greed starts. And one of the things Baba is talking about here is it's a very subtle aspect, and modern psychology will not agree with this point what Baba is telling, or may not comprehend what Baba is telling, is the greed, the need can transfer into a greed. And where do you draw a line between need and greed? Unless we have that spiritual awareness, we don't know where to draw the line. Where the need stops and greed begins, we don't know. So we should take care of our needs, not just the basic needs, but fulfill the spiritual needs by connecting to Baba. And once that spiritual needs are fulfilled, our dependency on the physical things stops. And that is where Baba is bringing our attention. So, so, so how do you uh, do some fine tuning of our awareness? The traces of greed is taken away to revisit whenever we use the word need. I need this, and these are my basic needs. So, is this an emotional need? Is it a physical need? What kind of need to reevaluate? And one of the things Baba is bringing our attention to, where does the lust, uh, the subtle trace of lust, where Baba is talking about jukav is the word Baba used in Hindi. When we are subservient, or giving extra attention to some interaction or some relationship or some idea. So that is where love transfers into lust. So that is subtle aspect Baba is bringing our attention. And Baba is also bringing our attention to subtle aspects of the anger, where Baba is talking about uh, mm, irritation or dislike, or the word used in Hindi is grina, so some dislike or hatred. So that is where we want to revisit. And the royal form is, I need to protect myself from others' negativity. But that's where Baba says that, look, you definitely have to take care of yourself, not at the expense of um, making others fall. So, in other words, Baba is asking us to step up into our role as a Brahmin, as an ancestor soul, where to take care of yourself and also take care of the others. So, the whole mindset change Baba is asking us to do is detached and loving. Be detached from the negativity, but still be loving. So you are protected by detaching, but you're also taking care of the other person by extending your loving presence. So, so some of the things Baba also brought up about the attachment. I like this, but liking starts from liking, it becomes attraction, it turns into attachment. So there are different forms. Baba is bringing our attention. Baba also brought our attention to ego. Like after achieving all of these things, it becomes, oh, it is my ability that made me who I am. In the process, we build a sense of ego, where Baba is telling whose specialty you are looking, whose specialties are you carrying, whose child you are. You are God's child, you are carrying God's virtues. So having that awareness protects us from the subtle traces of ego. So, so Baba is bringing our attention, fine tuning our awareness in this Murli. So where Baba says, to those who are constantly manmanaba, that is to those who keep themselves entertained, to those who constantly experience their world to be of one Baba, to the special souls who constantly see such speciality, Bab-Dada's love, remembrance, and mercy. So, and after the Murli, Baba is uh, meeting the groups. Baba is meeting the team servers. What gift did you servers receive in Madhuban? You received instant fruit and also accumulated your future reward. Therefore, you receive a double gift. You receive the instant fruit of happiness, and you develop the practice of having constant yoga. You received the instant fruit of happiness, and you developed the practice of having constant yoga. However, together with these, you also accumulated your future reward. Therefore, you received a double chance. Whilst living here, you practiced being an easy yogi, a karma yogi, and a constant yogi. Just imagine, how does it feel to be in Madhuban, doing seva in Madhuban? You have natural awareness, natural yoga, effortless, easy yogi, karma yogi, and constant yogi. Make this sanskar so firm before you leave that you have this sanskar when you arrive back at your home. Just as old sanskaras are used even against your conscious wish, so make this sanskara firm. Then, because of this sanskara, you will continue to practice it. Then, because you have developed the sanskara, Maya won't be able to create any obstacles. Therefore, constantly continue to underline these sanskara. Continue to revise them. Whilst living here, have you remained free from obstacles? You didn't have any obstacles, did you? There wasn't any conflict with anyone, even in your mind. Was there? In a gathering, there are all types of souls. Therefore, did you only see the father, or did you also see the brother and sisters? Those who constantly see the father are the children who are close to Bapdada. However, the children who also sees brothers and sisters, as well as seeing the father, are not close. Such children are distant. See the father, not the brother and sister. So, who are all of you? You are all close, aren't you? Therefore, constantly continue to move along in this awareness. Whilst living outside, make this lesson firm, see the Father and follow the Father. Those who follow the Father will never fluctuate in any situation because the Father never fluctuated in anything. Who? Father Brahma. Therefore, those who see the Father are unshakable, immovable, and constant. Acha? Deal? See the Father and follow the Father. Those who follow the Father will never fluctuate in any situation because Father never fluctuated in anything. Therefore, those who see the Father are unshakable, immovable, and constant. Acha? Have all of your desires been fulfilled? All of you have played a very good part in doing service. The sign of playing a good part is that you automatically receive an invitation for the following year. The sign of playing a good part is that you automatically receive an invitation for the following year. This means that you create your memorial in a practical way. Those memorials will be created, but this memorial is also created now. When someone does good service and goes back home, everyone asks for that person to be invited again. So give such proof that from being just servers, you become such constant servers that everyone says, keep this one here. Acha? It's a beautiful, loving blessing and reinforcement for all those sevadaris who are doing seva in Madhuban. So just being there, we all have that experience of being easy yogi, karma yogi, constant yogi. And longer you stay, you make it your sanskara. And Baba also reinforced, see the Father and follow the Father. By doing that, you'll never fluctuate and you will be unshakable, immovable and constant like Baba. Let's take a minute. Now, from being a Sevadari, we become Madhubanvasi. So now Baba is meeting the residents of Madhuban. You residents of Madhuban are embodiment of all attainments because you have all been given the praise of Madhuban. The special study of Madhuban, the special company of Madhuban, and the special atmosphere of Madhuban. Study, company, and atmosphere. Those from outside come to Madhuban to have all their desires fulfilled. Whereas you are already sitting here. Physically too, you are constantly with Bapdada. Because everyone constantly experiences the company of the Sakar form in Madhuban. Therefore, you are with the Father physically. Because you are with Him in the physical form, and the soul is with the Father anyway. So you have double company. Do you not? You are sitting where there are all types of minds. Therefore, you have become masters of all minds. Let the song emerge in the residence of Madhuban at every moment and in every breath. Ahana tasu halya. I have attained whatever I want to attain. Nothing is lacking in my treasure store. Everything those of Madhuban eat is constantly fresh. Those who constantly eat fresh food should be so healthy. All of you souls are blessed. You are constantly being sustained with Bapdada's sustenance. Those from outside have to live in another type of atmosphere. And this is why Bapdada especially has to give them some blessing or another. Whereas you are sitting here in the land of blessing. Vardhani Bhumi. Those from outside need refreshment each year. Therefore, what should Bapdada say to each one of you? Bapdada tells others to be lighthouses and lighthouses. Should Baba tell you the same? Those people outside need this. It becomes a lotus flower for them. And because of this, they are able to remain loving and detached. In any case, whoever comes to your home, you have to look after that person as a guest. All of you are constantly at home. They have to play a double part. And this is why they have to be filled with double force. Every word spoken to them acts like a boat in the ocean of the world. Every word spoken to them acts like a boat in the ocean of the world. Whereas you have moved away from the ocean of the world and are sitting in the middle of the ocean of knowledge. Baba is your world. Acha. So, all of us are Madhubanvasis. As a Madhubanvasi, we get special company, special atmosphere, and the special study. And we constantly experience Baba both in spirit and in physical form with all of the treasures. Every word that is spoken acts like a boat for the people who are in that ocean of that world, whereas we, Madhubanvasis, we are in the ocean of knowledge, where Baba is our world. And Baba asks, what does it mean? Baba is your world. In any case, the intellect is pulled to the world, is it not? There are two things in the world, people and things. Baba is your world means that any attainment you have from anyone is from the one Father, and that the satisfaction you have from all things is also from the Father. Any attainment you have from anyone is from the one Father, and the satisfaction you have from all things is also from the Father. That's what it means. Baba is our world. He is your world. Is he not? Your relationship is with the Father, and your connection is with the Father. You are waking up and your sitting is with the Father. Therefore, Baba has become your world. Has he not? Sure. Two things, people and things. Whatever we receive through people and things are coming through Baba in his satisfaction, and any attainment is through Baba. That's what it means to be making Baba your world. Take a minute, make yourself comfortable in Baba's ocean of knowledge and Baba's presence in every experience that you have in the life. Feel Baba's presence in all your attainments. And Baba is meeting the Australian globe. What thought did all of you have today? Did you all bid farewell to Maya? Vidai? Those of you who sit want to think about this, raise your hands. If even now you say that you'll think about it, then this too is a weak foundation. To think about it means that there is weakness. Sunchenge. Business of Brahma Kumars and Kumaris is for them to become and to make others into conquerors of mind. Do you have to think about something that is your natural business? Just say, it has already happened. Just like last year, when you had the determination to open a center in many places and they were open, were they not? How many centers are there now? 17 centers in Australia in 82. Now there are many more. You just had that thought, and the thought was fulfilled. The thought to have many centers, and that was fulfilled. In the same way, have the thought to become a conqueror of mind. Bab Dada constantly congratulates you, children, on your courage. Continue to make much more progress in service. All of you children are loved by Bab Dada. Bab Dada too cannot do anything without you companions. You are all extremely valuable. Acha, Baba gives so much love. Baba recognizes everyone. Let's take a minute to feel Baba's love. We're all Baba's precious children. And try to recognize all your attainments, either through Lokik family or Alokik family, are coming through Baba. Baba is our world. And all our needs and all that we want, Baba is fulfilling. So very comfortable being Madhubanwasi, being Sevadari, easy yogi, natural yogi, making it a natural sanskara. Enjoying the beautiful atmosphere of our home, the Madhuban, and company of Bap Dada. Feel Baba's presence sitting next to you. Try to visualize yourself to be that easy yogi, natural yogi. Study in your awake stage whilst in action. Give yourself a special congratulations as you bid farewell to all the traces of our shortcomings. Uplifting everyone on our journey back home with Baba. one of the beautiful Murlis from 80s, early 80s. Lot of beautiful seva started outside of India, especially here where I am in San Francisco. Lot of new service started around that time. So, what do you enjoy from today's Murli? How did Baba made your day through this Murli? Feel free to unmute yourself and share your thoughts. Jagba?
Shanti. So, yeah, it's wonderful, Murli. And Baba says, see Father and follow Father. So, there, Baba says, Father never fluctuated in any situation. And, so when we follow such Father, we can become unshakable, immobile, and we can have a constant stage. Right. So I remember this, line that Father never fluctuated in any situation. So last time when I visited Madhavan, I happened to see this movie called The Light. So that movie was a wonderful movie. So wherein how the yajna started and how the yajna grew and the situations that happened at the time, the opposition, how much they troubled the Ikea and all that were shown in that movie. Okay, so and it was also shown how Brahma Baba handled the situation, and his face, it just had one face. I mean, you see when situation changes, people also change their face expression, right, according to the situation. When something good happens, your face expression changes. You smile. Something bad happens, your face expression changes. But throughout the movie, it was only showing some of the major incidents that which we could feel that this can even stop the whole yajna process. But it all went fine. But in spite of all that, the stage that was shown, the face that was shown, right, Brahma Papa's was stable stage, very stable face. So that really talk how much, or the kind of faith that Brahma Baba had and how Brahma Baba um, followed the direction of Shiv Baba. So that was one thing that I wanted to share. And just the like need and greed, right? So I've also heard this line from Gandhiji, right? This need and also that greed. So Gandhiji said a wonderful line about that. The earth has enough resources to meet the need of all, but not enough to satisfy the greed of even one person.
Yeah.
That is applicable here also. Shanti, thank you.
Om Shanti Harshaba.
Shanti.
There were only two things today in the Murli. One is the servers. So I used to define a server. There are some people, we just go down to Madhuban to refresh ourselves. But there are a category of people who are also needed along with the Madhuban residents to take care of these people who come to Madhuban and to take care. So it's not Madhuban residents alone who are going to take care of the children who visit. So these sevadaris, and it's so eminent because if you see, no sooner a Murli gets over, Bap Dada will ask this question, "Ab kya karna hai?" Immediately, Munni Bain will get up and say, "Baba, indoor zone ka seva turn hai." I used to just think, and then, so proudly these sevadaris and all, they would get up, and Baba would really thank them and to say they have come all the way. They have come on their own, not for refreshing, but for doing. So that was what was the picture I got in mind when I'm doing. But there were three words, Harshabai. I just want you to clarify it over here. If you see in Sevadari, Baba says double gift, okay, double fruit. But he also says one thing, easy yogi, karma yogi, constant yogi for a Sevadari. But I always used to take this as merged. Karma yogi, you can do it if you're a easy yogi. And if you're doing your karma yogi in God's remembrance, you're a constant yogi. So I always use either you can we take it as if you are a easy yogi, then you can be a karma yogi. And if you're a good karma yogi, then it's a constant yogi. So can you just give me a little picture of how do this link over here, not from Sevadari viewpoint, Sevadari viewpoint, a bit Baba has already explained over there. Can you just throw some more light on this? Because it's like, looks for me like Sahaj Yoga or
Mm,
Nirantar Yoga, something. If you could
mm.
explain the concept again, general
Yeah,
concept.
yeah. And then you're really right. And especially when we get a couple more weeks to stay in Madhuban, we do, or we are there for the seva, our mindset is there for total seva. And then we can clearly see the contrast between our normal day away from Madhuban and our day in Madhuban. And then we are so excited to, oh, tomorrow is Amrit Vela, I will go and then sit in Baba's room or history hall or Tower of Peace. And so we are fully excited for the next day. And then we will be counting down, oh, I have 8 more days to go and have 9 more days to go. And then you literally count down, right? And that attention, no, that being aware of what we can uh, mm, take benefit from that place, that awareness stays alive. Because of that awareness, um, that that feel that feeling becomes very natural, right? So more we naturally stay in that awareness, when you go and sit in, being in Madhuban whole day, you're naturally feeling high. And from there you go back to Baba's room to sit for yoga. So then it really pushes to the next level, right? So 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 then whatever you experienced while listening to Murli in Panda Bhavan, or while having yoga in Baba's room at Amrit Vela, and having that awareness alive when you are chopping vegetables in the kitchen after Amrit Vela, or doing some seva after Murli, that feeling stays high. That feeling stays high, and then you never even know that you're actually doing something, but that feeling stays high, right? And then that constant yogi, like you nicely pointed out. So only when we are natural, and that natural state is easily maintained without extra effort, we are maintaining that. So then we effortlessly express, bring that energy in action and interaction, and that is nothing but karma yoga, right? And I really like the point where Baba is bringing up, see, see Baba, nobody else. And even if you're in Madhuban, if your attention is not there, and then if you get into some gossip there, the whole of that stage will be ruined. And this straight away goes with this, you know, And like what Bijat Bhai was telling, if you actually be aware of, I mean, in order to follow Father, you need to know what he, what is his path, what did he face, and how did he handle, right? So then only we can handle it, because the way Baba is put into place, like when Baba in 1936, when Baba got this feeling that whatever I've been practicing through gurus is not fulfilling what I want. And then the deep longing to learn the new thing, right? And afterwards, he got these visions. And there is not much gyan in this. This world is going to end, this world is coming, and you got to make it happen. That's all he got. Like how and all that thing didn't get. But he got a that feel of what it means to be divine. And from that feeling of divine, he felt that, look, this got to be purity. And then he latched onto it, and then he lived up to it. Baba didn't reveal whole gyan until next 15, 20 years. They didn't even know that who is Shiva Baba. And all they knew is like they had this vision, they had this feel that we are these divine beings. That's it. And then you got to live up to it. And then they feel good. And then all they practice is soul consciousness, is all that they did for 14 years in Karachi, or even after coming back to Madhuban in 1950, and for few more years, all of this thing was continuing until Dadi Guzar went and then saw somebody in the subtle region who looked like Brahm Baba, and then got this clarity that, look, this uh, Brahma Baba, who is actually making effort, is the same one who is there, and he has to catch up with that. And then the clarity came, like, oh, look, there is subtle form of me. And then see, until then, all that he knew what is right, what is not right. Like all the morality that was imposed, the social morality that was imposed, all that Veda scriptures, whatever bhakti that he's done. So that is all opposing to, is conflicting within him. So he is, so whatever he faced, we might potentially be facing, right? And potentially be facing that, should I be stepping up, or should I just keep quiet? Should I do something, or should I not do something? Right? We will be put in a lot of crossroads, morally, emotionally, physically. You will be put in a lot of crossroads where you got to take decision. So that is why, like Bijat Bhai was telling, it is very important to tune into what Baba faced, and what was he tuning into when he was making a decision, what to act on, what to not act on, right? And so, and especially we hear that real test papers come in Madhuban. If you want to become a Madhuban Vasi, you will get a lot of deep test papers there. So for that, you need to know how Baba handled those subtle Maya, right? And again, coming back to this thing, like when we start uh, gaining victory in one of the small things, one after another, the things become very natural. And then once those things become natural, it becomes constant, and then karma yoga naturally happens. Making, for me, the one word is making natural in our spiritual awareness. And then there is a lot of subtleties to that. I don't know if I answered. Did I
Yeah,
answer?
even I
Mhm.
I liked, as Bijit Bhai was saying, even I like. See, but I just had two aspects which I wanted you to ask. See, as a
Mhm.
server, Baba, when
Mhm.
you go there, we also would like to see the brothers and sisters. We may not follow them. See, there are some brothers and sisters who are so ideal. As a sevadari, when I go, I'm just going as a sevadari. I've
Mm.
heard some of these sevadari saying, I really like to do the seva like that brother, like sister and all. Then I used to think, are they seeing them and following them and all? So that one aspect that Baba said, see Father only and follow Father only, I was just thinking about it. But when Baba came to Madhuban residence, just see, you read Madhuban Residence, I could only think of one word which we say in Tamil, samsaram or minsaram. Like the word, the samskaram, which samsaram is nothing but the cycles of birth, death, and misery, is like electricity. So I love that kind of living in a challenge. See, Baba also tells us they need lighthouses, they need might houses, they are like lotus. That's why he gives all of them these blessings. Who they? Not the Madhuban residents, but you are here, you are constant company, eating fresh, double blessed and all. So when I read this, I was just accepting my role of not being a Madhuban resident. I don't know
Mm.
whether I'm right, but I thought this is also a role where one has to do, because Baba now whom he is blessing as lighthouse, might house, and who he takes as lotus flower, the Murli made very clear. And that last part where Baba says that you Madhuban residents are sitting in middle of the ocean, but these children outside are like a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Mm.
See how much clarification or comparison Baba is making about Madhuban residents and non-Madhuban residents. Like, he's what I call it as product classification. And then he's trying to do product positioning of both, how he's positioning us and how he's positioning the Madhuban resident. I think I looked at this paragraph with a different perspective. Om Shanti.
Mm. Yeah. So, but in fact, we are all Madhuban Vasis. We are our, physically may not be there. We are all in our Seva stan. Either you may be in your Lokik home, taking care of your kids and family and friends and job and all of this stuff. But all of that thing is a Seva Kendra. So you are resident of Madhuban, but you are there to take care of Baba's service. Even though you are in a Lokik home. So having that awareness, you claim all of this, whatever Baba is telling. And actually, I remember one of the Madhuban Vasi brother was telling, Shushil Bai, you might know, he's always happy and light-hearted. He was telling that, see, when he sits in the transportation office opposite to Panda Bhavan, and then he said that, look, when I have yoga, sitting in my place, like in his transportation office, and then remember himself walking into Baba's room and have remembering Baba, visualizing himself walking into Baba's room and remembering Baba is much more powerful than him actually going and sitting in Baba's room and then remembering. Concentration is much higher when you're consciously visualizing and creating Baba's room, that space in your mind, and then remembering Baba, right? So he himself was sharing this, and especially when we practice the similar practice, that even though wherever we are outside, physically away, but when you emerge Panda Bhavan, or when you emerge Baba's room in your mind, you are much more focused than you physically being there. Follow, right? And just having this awareness that I am Madhuban Vasi helps you to claim all that Baba has told. We are not just living in the boat, we are living in the ocean of knowledge. And then we are naturally lighthouses and lighthouses. It happens, that lighthouse, lighthouse stays. It naturally happen. And then it's not, and I feel that is truth. You see. Yeah, I see a comment. That is true. So that is an advantage, right? Like you can always take somebody else's blessing for yourself. And that is one thing which I learned. If you hear Baba talking to daddies, you can put yourself like, oh, I'm part of daddy's group. And then you can take daddy's blessings also for yourself. And then Baba loves that. Anyone else have any thoughts, comments, questions? Do you feel whatever Baba has spoken here, only we can relate to this? If somebody else listens to this thing, they'll be so confused. How many of you feel that this only we can relate to it as a Brahmin?
Uh, to the extent, yes, brother, especially the one thing that you were talking while you conducted the Murli today, that the psychology, the Lokik
Mm.
psychology speaks about completing first the basic needs and then moving on to spirituality. And Baba says, Marjiva Bano, and then move forward in your journey of spirituality, which is completely a paradox.
Yeah, and then so here in San Francisco, we do have students, young people are coming to Baba Center, and most of them are being referred to by their psychologist to visit here.
So
So,
that is complete paradox again, right?
uh,
That's again a complete different space. A psychologist is referring them to come and do Raj Yoga. Because all the
yeah,
theory of psychology starts with first meeting the basic needs. We'll go to Maslow or begins from Maslow. All the even the TA theory speaks about the same. So transaction
mm,
analysis theory. So it's absolutely different than what the world talks about of the psychology space. And then the psychology is shared, sending these souls to come and do Raj Yoga.
mm. See, even if you look at psychology, right, as a so most of the, I mean, with my basic knowledge, how I see is how I see is they collect empirical data and the data that is captured, and then they definitely do a lot of psychoanalysis, like what happened, how did we think, and then they also put the lens of being benevolent, like, and then they have this uh, person-centric psychology where innately they believe that there is goodness in every human being, but they try to put pieces together without spirituality in between, right? And that is why one of the things that they were doing is lot of psychiatry, where lot of medication that they do to the people who are on the border case, where who are in psychotic or schizophrenia or bipolar, where uh, there is a chemical imbalance offshore, and that has to be regulated, and then whatever that they are trying to regulate, they understand what neurotransmitter is doing all this thing, and then they try to regulate that, but in fact the real thing never gets better. They just see there is a wall that they are constantly hitting, right? They are regulating the symptom, but it is not actually curing the real thing. Either it is dementia or Alzheimer's, but it is, they understand this neurotransmitter is doing all of this thing. We got to regulate this, but things does not get any better after a point. And then they also see the connection between neuroscience and the psychology, which is all about mindset. And then psychology is also abstract for them, and they do a lot of studies, and then one thing they consistently see is mindfulness. You got to change your mindset, you got to regulate your emotions, and that is where a lot of people struggle, especially when we are talking about emotional regulation. It is really hard. How can you deny something that you yourself personally experienced? It is really hard. And even for some of the BKs, it is really hard to digest this 5,000 years point. It is going to repeat exactly what happened. It hurts even for BKs, right? So to regulate emotions is really hard, right? And then they know you got to learn how to regulate your emotions. You got to change your mindset in order to make things better, in order to move on with your life. move past. And that is where a lot of studies which have been driven out of transcendental meditation or from Zen's Vipassana, that kind of meditations, all of that thing comes back to mindfulness, mindfulness, mindfulness. But the big part that what we bring as a big case, what Baba brings to the table is, see, you don't have to go through those painful emotions. You can tap into that spiritual experiences. You can tap into that spiritual power. That experiences, that power will help you dissolve all that negative energy which is built in within the soul. And that is hard for them to digest. And I play with this idea, especially when people are referred to by psychologists to come back to us. And good number of them are in bipolar, and we got to handle them with care, right? So anyhow, the bottom line is the extreme traumas are experienced by those who lived on this earth for a long period of time. Those who have seen the most beautiful thing have the deepest traumas. And that is why Baba himself, as a psychologist, as a psychotherapist, comes to help us with all of this Murlis as a psychoanalyst, you know. And anyhow, those are my 2 cents. Uh, I just want to share a couple of those thoughts. Anyone have any last thoughts? Vinod Bhai, anyone?
I mean, Baba here mentions, Brother Shanti, that
Mhm.
outsiders will have to be treated with a lot of love than
Yes.
the insiders because they are denied of so much of love. So, I mean, it's all a journey.
Mm,
We'll have to
definitely.
take that sciences and this sciences and those people and our people, and it overall brings the best out of us. We'll have to live through this journey and then remain a sakshi to what is happening, and that's when we can actually enjoy the entire process. Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not only that, it is our responsibility to take care of those who are traumatized in the world. It's our responsibility. We are not going anywhere until we take care of them. We have to give sakash, we have to empower the souls, uplift them until they happily go back home. Until then, we are staying here. We are not going anywhere because we are the ancestor souls. So let's take a minute to tap into your presence. Make yourself comfortable in Madhuban, in Baba's company. Create that powerful atmosphere inside your heart, your mind, and let your angelic body shine brighter and spread this love and light like a lighthouse, the light full of love and power. Let it shine in every heart and soul, healing every soul and empowering, bringing Baba's presence into this world. Take a minute to visualize your whole day, your workplace, all the people you are interacting. You are bringing Baba's light to them. You are bringing Baba's loving light into that place, surrounding every person you are going to interact today with love and light. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you, Harsha Bhai. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Until then, have a lovely day.